Oops. Oops. Up off net. Up off net. Come on in. Come on in. The water's fine. You know what it is. ShowBizz the adult. You know I'm automatic. From the counter. Get in there. You know what? It was the win. It was the win. What's up, my people? This is ShowBizz the adult. All right, man, look. Where you at? Oh, I see you, TK. Oops, Kevin, what's going on with you? John Doe, what happening? Chase Pack. Oops, all you guys, okay? Well, all right, man, look. Come on in, the water's fine. J Smooth, regulator, mount up. David, what's going on with you? Chase Pack. Oops, Showtime Mike. What up, dog? What up with you, dog? What's up, girl? Oh, Marcus Bale. What's going on with you? Man, all you guys, come on in. The water's fine. Brooklyn style. What's up with you? Will, what's going on? Farmer Q. What's up with you? 206 Hooput. What's up with you? You're the GOAT. Thank you so much. Keeping it 100. Will Sanchez, we got to talk. From Toronto, my second home, Canada. What's going on with you? Yes, sir. You know what, man? We got to talk. Wait, Andy better get back in there. Dude's a disgrace for showing up like that. Lennox Lewis, he is not a Lennox Lewis. Dudes like him and Evander were hungry for the strap. Okay, all right, man, look. Let's talk about that, all right? But first, ShowBizz Cup. You know, I got the grapefruit juice. I'm losing weight, getting stronger. So I'm dropping weight, I'm getting stronger, feeling healthier. My joints are feeling healthier. The vegan diet is actually working. I'm gonna have a before and after video for you guys, just to see if, even with myself, for 8 weeks, see if I improve. How we cop the cup. All of that is coming, man. Hard Knock Nights Live. Everything's coming. All right, Will Sanchez, like me and you, or the stream. Oops. Okay, man. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So, what, my man? Your face looks slimmer. Yeah. I know, man. I'm just all around slimmer. Best boxing channel, never biased. Yeah, and you know what? That's not just on purpose. It's how I am inside. But you know, at the same time, sometimes I'm viewed as biased, and you know, it all depending on who I criticize that day. So, yeah, my man, Mr. Grace said Andy needs to get back in there. Let's talk about Andy Ruiz. You know, heavy lies the head that wears the crown. Okay, heavy lies the head that wears the crown. I should have keep up the good work, ShowBizz. Thank you so much. I should have titled this live stream that, okay? And we all discussed this. This is not me being brilliant, okay? The whole ShowBizz the adult community months ago when Andy Ruiz was revving up for the rematch with Anthony Joshua, we discussed this. Heavy lies the head that wears the crown, and the crown affects people differently. Andy Ruiz only held it for a minute. Buster Douglas only held it for a minute. Both of them, they're more similar than many people think. Now look at the breasts, okay, that Andy Ruiz had. The breasts that Buster Douglas had, okay? I mean, you know, like I said, I had to cover ShowBizz the kids' eyes, okay, while watching Andy Ruiz fight. They were bouncing around. Both of those guys came in greatly out of shape and overweight. Heavy lies the head that wears the crown. You know, Mike Tyson, he had his issues, okay? Too much money too soon. Errol Spence flipping over in a Ferrari, okay? He became unified with Sean Porter. Nothing against those guys. It's the crown. It's like my precious. It starts to shape you, okay? It happens to all the great ones. Sugar Ray Robinson, which you gotta give some love to Deontay Wilder for even having his back-to-back, his 10 title defenses. It takes something, okay? Especially when everyone wants your downfall. The Floyd Mayweathers of the world, the Manny Pacquiao's of the world. But with that said, even Anthony Joshua, Anthony Joshua, he was beating people too easily. And these high expectations of Anthony Joshua, that was weighing on him. Anthony Joshua being extremely transparent, saying, look, man, I'm happy I got this loss out the way. Heavy lies the head that wears the crown. Look, he understood now what rock bottom felt like. He needed to feel that. You just on top all day long, you start to try to preserve certain things, avoid certain things. Now there's things that Anthony Joshua, he isn't trying to preserve. He already got his loss. He needed that, and he found his hunger again. The hunger was gone. So the crown weighs on people differently. It affects people differently. And as for Andy Ruiz, it affected him. It affected him. I blame Don King for Tyson. Cuss would have had managing money. Right, Tyson, not Mayweather. Okay, but here's the thing, though. That means that Mike Tyson didn't have that character to begin with. You're saying that he needed a better babysitter. And the great ones don't need that. Muhammad Ali didn't need that. The very great ones. Most fighters, they do because they came from nothing, okay? Manny Pacquiao is so funny how he was able to kind of like hop over those laser beams. Floyd Mayweather, everybody had a target on him, wanting him to lose. But what I'm saying is, I've never been a world champion before. But I can only imagine how much discipline you must have. Mike Tyson said he used to walk through his crib, Catskill. He used to walk through wearing his belt. He used to throw money out to the pimps and the hustlers that he came up with. You know what I'm saying? Heavy lies the head that wears the crown. And champions don't know. It's hard to be a champion. Andy was eating too much and spending too much money. He was ready for that responsibility as a champion. Okay, look, Showtime, Mike, but here's the thing. The PBC, Al Heyman, ordered the split between him and Manny. From what Manny, his trainer, his ex-trainer now, who's been there forever, so sad, but Manny, great trainer. What Manny was saying was that Andy Ruiz was partying too much, and he couldn't get Andy in the gym. There wasn't a gun big enough to threaten Andy Ruiz to get his butt in the gym. And Al Heyman, he looked at it as, you can't handle Andy Ruiz. Hey, he's talking to Andy Ruiz's father. You gotta drop Manny. According to Andy Ruiz's father, it was ordered by the PBC, Al Heyman, to split with Manny. Okay? That's strange that the PBC ordered it. Sean Newton is not strange. So this is why it's not strange, Sean Newton. And I understand what you're saying, but it's not that strange. WBC is top notch. Yeah, we could talk about the WBC, and they are top notch. I actually believe in the WBC. I do. All right, so this is why it's not strange, Sean Newton. It's not strange because of this. Al Heyman and the PBC was that close to having a unified, undisputed champion in their stable while avoiding Anthony Joshua. They could have had an undisputed champion without having to go through the very best, without having to go through Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury. They were this close, a fight away. Think about it. They were a fight away. So that hurt the PBC. And they were like, hey, man, I mean, it's just, I'm thinking it's retaliation. Remember Batman? I'm talking about Michael Keaton Batman, the first Batman, with Jack Nicholson playing Batman, okay? Remember when Batman came with the jet and the bat plane or whatever and swept up all of the Joker's balloons and stuff like that? The Joker was like Bob Gunn. His right-hand man, Bob gave him a gun, pow, and he shot him. And he said he just needed a moment alone. I just need a moment alone, boys. That's what happened. I think Al Heyman and the PBC is frustrated. We could have had all the straps without having to go through AJ, Eddie Hearn, and all that stuff. Pow! That's the only thing I could think of. Somebody got to pay. You couldn't get Andy Ruiz. I'm back. You couldn't get Andy Ruiz in the gym. It's your fault. The thing is, Andy Ruiz, he took blame as a man. He has that type of, he was like, that's on me. But that wasn't enough. PBC, Al Heyman can't drop Andy Ruiz. Somebody got to go. Yeah, They had a shot of having an undisputed American champion. Okay, we know Andy Ruiz is Mexican American. Deontay Wilder, African American. Okay, but I'm just saying they had that opportunity, and could have avoided AJ. Ruiz, the one that messed up. Nobody could have made that man train. Absolutely. But that's not how it works. Collateral damage. Yeah, they can blame Andy Ruiz, but they can't make him pay. Because they still need him. He's valuable. There's somebody they got to make pay. And that's how I see it. Wilder has a plan after boxing, discipline out of the ring, not scared to fight anyone. We don't appreciate him. I don't know. I think, people got their agenda. People have their agenda. People have their bias. People have who they love. I think a lot of people love Deontay Wilder. I do. I don't think everybody loves Deontay Wilder, and maybe that probably shouldn't be. Maybe everybody shouldn't love a fighter, okay? Me, I love them all. But Deontay Wilder got his fans. He got his fan base. Most of his fan base say he doesn't have a big enough fan base. He has a fan base. Anthony Joshua got his fan base. I appreciate Wilder. He's the king of boxing right now. I don't agree with that. I think the king of boxing is my man, Ring Magazine, Canelo Alvarez, #1. I think he the king of boxing right now. Canelo Alvarez. He's a guy who's able to move up and down and make all those things happen. He's getting paid a hell of a lot of money, right? Right, Sean? He's getting paid a hell of a lot of money, but on top of that, he can make all the best fights happen, especially with being the franchise champion and being the WBO super champion. I go with WBC, IBF, then WBA, WBO, last IBO. Well, here's the thing. You want to talk about the WBC? Did you guys read Ring Magazine? The latest Ring Magazine? Did you read this? This is why I want to talk about depth in the ring. The WBC has already done so much. You can't say that the WBC isn't in the forefront of making boxing safe. We as fans, we like to sit back and we like to criticize what we deem to be the big wigs. All the big wigs, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, anybody who's the PBC, DAZN, there's people gunning for DAZN for some reason. The WBC is they're in the forefront, right? WB also has the best rankings. Yeah, the WBC is in the forefront of the whole VADA thing, paying VADA $13,000 a month so they could do their random testing. That's the PBC. The WBC. The WBC, Suleiman, the old man with the detached thumb on the glove, the extra rope in the ring, all the money that he's donating for the science behind the brain treatment and studies of the brain up off it. But on top of that, you have this article right here. Time to wake up. Time to look in the mirror. And they're talking about, and you see the late, rest in peace, Dadashev. They're talking about how to make boxing safe. Okay? Stop it. Cheater can't never be face of boxing in my book. It depends on if he really cheated or not. And that's up to debate, That's why, like Floyd Mayweather. People call Floyd Mayweather a cheater. It depends on who you like or don't like. That determines what story you believe. Okay, so you have Floyd Mayweather fans hating on Canelo Alvarez for the clenbuterol, but Floyd Mayweather had an IV in his arm back in the locker room before the Manny Pacquiao fight. So it's kind of like, who do you believe? And then you have those Manny Pacquiao fans calling Floyd Mayweather a cheater, but Manny Pacquiao didn't want to take the random testing before the Floyd Mayweather fight. So, and they're talking about all of this. Oh, thanks for the super chat, IQ. Wilder needs more credit for the quick turnaround, fighting Ortiz, then fighting Fury only a couple months later. Yeah, I give him all the credit for that. That's a warrior. And I don't think Deontay Wilder isn't trying to be great. I think he is trying to be great. And I think he's improving, and I think he's focused. I really do. Did VADA say he cheated? No, sir. Right. Because he didn't have the level of clenbuterol to make a difference in his performance. But no one cares about that. They only care about the first story, right? So here's the thing. They were talking about what kills. So I'm going to ask you guys, what do you think causes or increases the probability of fighters dying in the ring? What's up, Offnick? What's up, Offnet? I'll explain it. I'll explain it later. You don't like him as a person? Yeah, he's not the best person in the world. I mean, to like get along with. Sean Newton said hit to the head and dehydration. Too many blows to the head. Here's the thing. I love that you guys said that. So in here, they're talking about what's broken, okay? And let me tell you something. They were talking about, look, they got Mauricio Sullivan here in the article. You know, the man, I'm talking about the president of the WBC, and he's showing how he's in the forefront of all this. So much love to Mauricio Sullivan, because really at the end of the day, we want the safety of these fighters. But they spoke about glove size and headgear, okay? I always said Muhammad Ali was more dangerous to fight than Mike Tyson, than George Foreman, because those boys get you out of there. Muhammad Ali, what's more dangerous is bam, boom, boom, pop, boom, pop, boom, and you're still there. Dehydration of the brain, the sweat flying off. They were talking about how headgear and glove size is more dangerous for a fight than smaller gloves. Bigger gloves and headgear is more dangerous than smaller gloves. Hence the UFC. The UFC, yeah, you're breaking noses, breaking cheekbones, but the head damage isn't the same, because you can't take repeated blows with smaller gloves, and you can't sit down. You don't have to sit down on your punches as much to break your hand. Check this out. All had welterweight speed and hands. Check this out. So what Lou DiBella was saying is that headgear gives a larger target, and a bigger glove gives a bigger weapon to hit the larger target with. So it makes sense. If you think about back in the day, Jack Johnson, Jim Jeffries, but forget about that. Sugar Ray Robinson. It makes sense, right? Lame Nerd. Hey, what's going on with you? Sugar Ray Robinson, all those guys. Love what you do, fam. Gotta support. Showtime Mike, thank you so much for the super chat. Jake LaMotta, Rocky Marciano, they had smaller gloves, okay? The amount of deaths, I'm not sure if so it's not just smaller gloves that can make it safer. Also, changing the rounds from 15 to 12, that changed things, all those things. But the deaths didn't decrease as the gloves got bigger. You feel what I'm saying? So they're saying that smaller gloves is actually better. Yeah, there may be more broken bones, but less trauma time and time again to the brain. Here's another thing they were saying. They were talking about weigh-ins. How many of you guys believe in weight bullies? How many of you guys believe in weight bullies? Cutting weight makes you dehydrate your brain, and your brain takes the longest. Absolutely. I do. Yep. Hell yes, they are. Do fighters ever die trying to make weight in boxing? No. Well, ever. I'm pretty sure probably somewhere for sure. You need a seat at ringside speaking that. Okay, yeah, but Charlo. Okay. This is what they were saying. When a fighter weighs in the day before, they're given a lot of time, okay, to recover. Meaning that you can have a bigger guy come in, of course, lose weight, and know that he has all that time to recover. For those who like good music, check me out, fam. Thanks for the super chat. Right? Think about back in the day. Think about Jack Johnson, Jim Jeffries. They weighed in the ring right before the fight. George Foreman and them, they used to weigh in outside of the ring before they came into a fight. Remember that? Night of the fight, Muhammad Ali weighing in before the fight. They brought in the scale in the ring. You could not be you were fighting at your fighting weight, fam. You were fighting at what you were weighing in what you were going to fight that night. Yeah, they kept it a buck back then. They kept it a buck back then. Going back to the headgear and the gloves in the Olympics. Look at the Olympics back when Sugar Ray Leonard was fighting. Think about Sugar Ray Leonard in the Olympics. You saw his big ass fro, didn't you? No headgear. There was that whole thing was like, what's going on now isn't really helping the sport. Iceman, right? You remember that? You remember that? You remember when George Foreman come in with his robe? He takes his robe off and he's standing on the scale. Night of the fight. What else were they talking about? Oh, the state by state. There's no overarching rule set. It's from a state by state basis. Headgear taken out of the amateurs boxing now. Right, Sean. All right, man. Look. So there's a state by state basis. They brought up this fight. Right here, Danny Jacobs, Eddie Hearn sitting in the middle. Danny Jacobs and Chavez Jr. Think about how much went wrong with that fight, man. Think about how much was wrong with that fight. Everything wrong with boxing was wrong with that fight. The Chavez, he didn't take the drug sample, right? So he failed. So Eddie Hearn, instead of finding a new fighter, Eddie Hearn went to a different state. So to where those rules are allowed, where you can just duck a random test and still have the fight. Chavez came in overweight. They still allowed that fight to happen. Just, took some money or two. Right, Haas? There's so much wrong with that fight that could have caused serious damage to a man who beat cancer, Danny Jacobs. Talking about a man's health that wasn't close to being something that people cared about. Danny Jacobs, a warrior, and getting in his own way. So they're talking about the boxing culture, how the fighters are willing to die before they quit. So you got to have people around you who gives a damn. You have to have people around you who cares. I mean, this is very important to me because I want the sport of boxing to be the #1 sport in the world. But it's very hard when you have 5 deaths, okay, in 2019. A sport like this can die, all right? That's why when you ask me what's better, UFC or boxing, or MMA or boxing, but y'all say UFC, I brought up the way UFC is handled. It's much better. Much respect to Danny Jacobs. He's a warrior. And it was Chavez who quit. So that shows you how much of a warrior Chavez isn't. But at the same time, they definitely didn't look out for that man. Let me see. Year-round weight checks. They're talking about doing that now. Year-round weight checks. Hey, are you a welterweight? You're going to have to be a welterweight year-round. They're talking about what can help boxing. And boxers were talking. Mercy rules. Think about this. The greatest example of the mercy rule was this. Anthony Joshua against Andy Ruiz. Anthony Joshua couldn't come back against Andy. No, forget that. Ennis. Remember Ennis? Everybody would say, oh, that's too early of a stoppage. The bloodthirsty fans we are. If we could respect the mercy rule to say, hey, look, he can't win. Why take an ass whooping for another 3 rounds? So they were talking about all the things. Of course, they were talking about rehydration limits, all these things, man. It's a fantastic article in here on how to make boxing safer. You saw what happened with the NFL. Yeah, Tommy Morrison, I agree, yo, weight hurts your body. It does. And you saw what happened to the NFL, okay? The difference is the NFL got that shield. See, there's someone to blame. With boxing, there's no one to blame yet. We don't want less and less kids because the success of anything is the future. Okay, so you don't want less and less parents allowing their kids to get into boxing because they think the probability of their death is higher joining boxing than playing basketball or football. So your better athletes, that's why the heavyweight division was sucking. Your better big athletes decided to play a different sport than boxing. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened. The rehydration contract is unsafe. Well, the thing is, maybe you should be closer to your weight, to the weight you fight at. Maybe you should be closer to the weight you fight at. There's a way to win with 3 rounds left. Yeah. And there you go. But you're going to have the type of refs and the type of corner to know this guy is dying. This guy doesn't have a chance and he's taking an ass whooping. It all depends on what you're talking about. Arturo Gatti versus Floyd Mayweather. Stop that fight. You feel what I'm saying? Stop that. I'm not saying stop all fights because they're behind on scorecards. But if someone taking a Gotti ass whooping, stop that fight. If somebody been knocked down, wobbled, knocked down J-Rock, stop that fight. There's fights to stop. Yeah, dude, walking around at 180 pounds and fighting at 147 because they know the weigh-in is the night before. If they change the weigh-in to the night of, things will change. M. Lopez, what's going on with you? Less kids because our boys are Sherman's. See, that's the mentality. But that's not going to help our sport. Just calling somebody soft. You're soft. Get back in there. Mess around and die, right? Danny Garcia fight. So I see a few of you guys talking about that. I'm going live for the Danny Garcia fight. Let's talk about it. What do you guys want to say about the Danny Garcia fight? This is how I feel about that. I don't know how many times you guys got to see a Rosario beat a J-Rock, an Andy Ruiz knock out Anthony Joshua before you realize that all these fighters are dangerous. Many of these fighters are dangerous. Like I said, the Rosarios of the world, the Ivan Redcatches of the world. Because you don't know them doesn't mean they're not dangerous. Rosario was the same guy before he knocked out J-Rock. It's just now people know who he is. He's not a greater fighter now. He's the same guy before he knocked out J-Rock. Ivan Redcatch, if you've ever watched him fight, that guy is a huge problem. He's a puncher and a huge problem. Rosario isn't Redcatch, but I'm saying Redcatch is a problem. That's all I'm saying. Rosario has been a beast, dominated some prospects and lost, right? He also lost to some, right? But that's okay. Nathaniel, losing to Nathaniel, stuff like that. Very close toe-to-toe split decision win over Cota, the same guy that Jermell Charlo knocked out early, okay? But what I'm saying is styles make fights. He is in the top 15 WBC. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Who's ranked where isn't what I'm saying. What I'm saying is on that night where he has a stage to fight Danny Garcia and you know he has knockout power and he has a heart to boot, he can mess around and catch Danny and I wouldn't be shocked. And I'm saying not just a lucky punch either. Look, Redcatch is a good opponent for Danny Garcia. He is. Yes, Danny Garcia is more skillful, and J-Rock is more skillful than Rosario. J-Rock is more skillful than Rosario. Rosario, bigger guy, harder puncher. But, oh yeah, you guys, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and like. Please like. Red does hit hard. He hits hard enough to knock out Danny Garcia. I'm not saying that, I know styles make fights. I'm not saying that Redcatch is going to beat Danny Garcia. All I'm saying is this. The attitude to go into a fight like, that's another cherry pick, another easy fight, love the sport, watch the sport, because you're going to mess around and be like, whoops, Rosario knocked out J-Rock. Feel what I'm saying? Whoops, J-Rock is back. He beat Hurd. Yeah, Garcia's a good fighter. I know he's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. Until he beat Floyd. Like, who beat Floyd? Nobody. Everybody thought about Marcos Maidana. Everybody thought of Marcos Maidana after Ortiz. That was the fight. And then, and he had that fight with, Amir Khan, stuff like, but that was the fight. He knocked out Broner. A lot of stuff happened before Floyd. I'm not saying Red Cash is going to beat Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia is a special fighter. I'm saying this is why boxing is worth watching. This is an entertaining bout. It's not about if Danny Garcia isn't fighting a name I know, it's not worth watching. I'm saying there's another gladiator in the ring, it's worth the watch. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Does Spence beat Garcia in a tough fight? If I put my money on it, I'll put it on Spence. But I keep saying, is it a fight worth headlining a card? Yeah, it all depends on what's on the card. Great fighters don't fight every week. If you pick a week where there's not, the greatest fighters out there, that's a good fight to headline the card. Sure. Danny Garcia is not pay-per-view. Danny Garcia is worth watching. He lost to two guys. It doesn't mean that he wasn't a great fighter at 140, did his thing at 147. The guy is entertaining to watch. A good boxer. He's not trending right now. Sean Porter is trending right now. But I'm talking about as far as a good fighter, he's a good fighter. So yeah, he's worth it. If you're a good fighter, yeah, you're worth it. Not trending, of course. But he's worth it, though. Would you rather see Spence versus Garcia or Crawford versus Garcia? I'd rather see Spence versus Garcia. But no. Matter of fact, no. I'd rather see Crawford versus Garcia. I'm sorry. The reason why is because I haven't seen Crawford against an elite welterweight. So I'd rather see Crawford against Garcia just to see where he's at. But I think Spence, I said this many times, Spence and Garcia would be razor thin close. Crawford Garcia, razor thin close. Sean Porter Crawford, razor thin close. Keith Thurman and Errol Spence, razor thin close. All those boys, Manny Pacquiao and Danny Garcia, razor thin close. All those boys are close. I'm telling you, that's why that Keith Thurman Manny Pacquiao fight on the scorecard was a split decision. All those boys are close. But Crawford beat Jeff Horn. I don't even know what that means. If you think Jeff Horn is an elite fighter, someone just said the triangle theory doesn't work. Is Jeff Horn an elite fighter? Did Jeff Horn actually beat Manny Pacquiao? Most people give Manny Pacquiao the nod there. I mean, I don't. Is Jeff Horn an elite? If you think he's elite, what has he done? Yeah, I don't. Is Jeff Horn an elite? I don't know. I don't think he's elite. I remember. Hell, Buster Douglas knocking out Mike Tyson. Is he elite? Is he elite? There's circumstances. Is Jeff Horn elite? Are you guys hyping up Jeff Horn to make Terrence Crawford look good? Because I swear to you, if I don't know. Who do y'all not like? Many people don't like Errol Spence. If Errol Spence knocked out Jeff Horn, he wouldn't get this love. He wouldn't. You got to understand your reason why you're saying this. You're a Terrence Crawford fan. That's the only reason why most of you are giving Jeff Horn love. He's not elite. He's not elite. Not ever. He wasn't elite before Manny Pacquiao. People were, who just talked about Red Catch not being in the top 15? And discrediting Red Catch. Was Jeff Horn thought about? Was Jeff Horn ever thought about before he fought Manny Pacquiao? Yeah, it's hard to stay consistent. It's hard to stay consistent when you have an agenda. It's hard. Just be unbiased. And Terrence Crawford is an amazing fighter. Terrence Crawford is an amazing fighter. That's why beating Jeff Horn isn't an amazing thing. Jeff Horn hasn't done anything prior to Manny Pacquiao or after Manny Pacquiao. That's okay. You don't have to make Jeff Horn the Hulk. Everybody's leaning on Jeff Horn. You don't have to pub and boost Jeff Horn to make Terrence Crawford look good. He looks good anyway. Terrence Crawford looks good anyway. You don't have to lie and cap about Jeff Horn to make Terrence Crawford look good. Look at him. Terrence Crawford a beast. You don't have to cap for Jeff Horn. But the truth remains, he hasn't fought an elite welterweight. And that's not Terrence Crawford's fault either. Nobody's jumping on Terrence Crawford's case. It's just the fact remains he hasn't fought one of the top guys. That's all. That's all. It's not a big deal. You don't have to get your feelings hurt over it. It's not a big deal. We know what it is. Whatever, man. Whatever. Errol Spence is overrated. ShowBizz the adult. Errol Spence is overrated. Errol Spence isn't overrated. The boy is a bad boy. He's a bad boy. Overrated here because heavy lies the head that wears the crown. The crown is getting heavy for him. It is. Okay. It was getting it got to him a little too fast. He got a little Tank Davis-y. He got a little Adrian Bronery. Okay. Hopefully he's not overrated. He's definitely not overrated. The boy can bang. He can fight. Yeah, Errol's the truth. He can fight. You can't say Terrence Crawford is amazing and think Errol Spence isn't. Both of those guys are amazing. Look at what Errol Spence is doing. Look at what he's done. To go toe-to-toe with Sean Porter, anybody who beats Sean Porter is amazing. Keith Thurman beating Sean Porter the way he did, that was amazing. Kell Brook was amazing. Bud is overrated? No, he's not overrated. Terrence Crawford, ShowBizz, talk about Manny Pacquiao and Spence. I think, wait a minute, my boy, speaking my boxing talk. ShowBizz adult is overrated by his fanboys as well. There are not too many welterweight fighters that can get in the ring with him, so he's not that overrated. What was I going to say? Manny Pacquiao and Errol Spence. I would love that fight, and I think a prime Manny Pacquiao would beat Errol Spence because of his lateral movement, his off timing, his hand speed, his power in both hands, his strange angles. I think it's a little too much for Errol Spence. But as an older guy, like I said, I looked at that Keith Thurman fight in those middle rounds, and I said, oh, I envision what Errol Spence would do with he would go straight forward and make Manny Pacquiao cover up and punch going backwards. He would try to bully him. You know what I'm saying? Manny Pacquiao is just old now. ShowBizz the adult, I'm a fan. Much love to you. Spence is another Mike Tyson in the making. I don't see that. Oh, you mean as far as falling apart? I don't know. How suspect is Keith Thurman's chin? Not really suspect. His body is suspect. Getting dropped by Manny Pacquiao don't make your chin suspect. He got caught clean. That's all that is. Spence will lose to Bud. Hopefully we'll get to see one day. Pac-Man's too much for Spence. Not at 41. I really don't agree. Errol Spence and Garcia would be a close fight, but Errol Spence would knock him out. Knock him out. I don't know about that. I don't think I've seen Errol Spence knock out an elite fighter. Kell Brook. He stopped Kell Brook. Broke his orbital bone. He stopped Kell Brook. I think his rib and his cheekbone. He just broke them up. Sean Porter, he didn't stop. Danny Garcia, when was the last time he was stopped? He was never stopped. I don't know. I don't see Errol Spence. Errol Spence didn't stop Sean Porter or Mikey Garcia. Okay? And Danny Garcia has never been stopped. It's hard. It's hard for me to see Errol Spence stopping him. I got Martin beating Washington. What about Josecito shot he took? Yeah. Errol Spence, Keith Thurman got a lot of heart. That's one thing he has. I've seen him hurt many times in the ring, and he fights through it. That's good chin, which I said, your chin is mostly mental. He's not going to lose till he reaches 140, There's too many guys at 147 to where I don't know if Errol Spence comes out of that unscathed, okay? Errol Spence, it's not just the fact, is Errol Spence the best welterweight? Yeah. But he's going to have to run through these guys. Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, Manny Pacquiao, Terrence Crawford. It's hard. for me to see him going through all those guys without taking an L. It's kind of like Sugar Ray Leonard. You know, Sugar Ray Leonard took that Duran ass whooping, and then Sugar Ray Leonard went on. You know, he beat Wilfred Benitez. He lost to Duran, and he beat Duran, and he beat Tommy Hearns. It's hard to go through all those elite fighters unscathed. He almost lost against Sean Porter. That knockdown came right on time. Thurman is overrated, brother. Good fighter, not great. I feel his injuries have really limited his career. Here's the thing about that comment. I'm not sure if any of those guys are actually great. You know, they're great for right now, great fighters. But I think the jury is still out on if those guys are great. Really. Many of us talked about, you know, weight bullies and stuff like that. Terrence Crawford is a 154 guy. He's a 154 guy. And what he did at 140, yeah, of course he would. That's a big kid. He's a big kid. That's the thing. Only great 147 guy is Manny. Yeah, Manny ain't even 147. It's a little guy. He's a little guy. Spencer is a vain guy. Those missing teeth can't get fixed until the end of his career. I think those missing teeth will affect his mental game. I don't know. Here's the thing about, and thanks for the super chat. Here's the thing about that comment. How many professional fighters have you met? How many and I'm not saying you haven't met any. I just want to know how many professional fighters you've met. Because the only reason I ask is because if you meet a professional fighter, they're not what we are. Professional fighters are not what we are. So we try. It's kind of like trying to think like a tiger. You can't think like those guys. Those guys putting their lives in danger, sacrificing their lives. The type of warriors those guys are. We wouldn't believe it until you meet them. You meet a fighter, look at him face to face. You disrespect the fighter, see what happens. Dude, fighters are warriors. They're warlords, and they're built. They feel like a rock. They feel like rock, man. You talk to a fighter and you look at what they do every day, the condition, what they do to get in the ring and punch another guy in the face and take punches to the face, the training leading up to it. Those guys are warriors. Yeah, they're humble dudes because they get their ass whooped, but on top of that, they get their ass whooped. Okay, when you're punching, all you need to do is punch on somebody every day. Punch on somebody every day for 6 weeks. Okay? See the callus built up in your hand. It makes you harder. Have you guys ever seen Fight Club? When he was talking about, I'm getting harder every day, I'm getting stronger, I'm getting harder every day. You punch on a bag, you get punched in the face, you punch on something, you take a loss, you get knocked down, you get up, and you beat on somebody else. You are a stronger dude inside out. You take more risk. You're you're a different dude. So for you, this is a long-winded answer, but for you, getting your teeth knocked out will affect you. Not a fighter. Not a fighter. No. Nope. Not a fighter. Errol Spence is every bit of a fighter. Fighters are born. Most of them are born. Fat private shot, how to beat a MMA fighter. Hockey players lose teeth all the hockey players, different type of people than me. Different than me, okay? There's certain things I wouldn't do. What's my weight? I'm 188 right now. Not Canadians. It's a natural part of life. Get teeth knocked out. You're the best boxing commentator on YouTube. Thank you. No, thank you very much for saying that. Vernon Forrest was a family member. Wow. Vernon Forrest, like I said, he is the prime example of being a gladiator. The way he went out. He went towards what was the predator. He went towards the weapon. He went towards the violence. That's how he got killed. He went towards the villain. It's like, hey, that right there is hot. He went towards it and touched it because he was protecting his family. There's many of us that's not, hey man, that right there is the threat. I'm going towards it. That's a fighter. That's a different dude. He died right down the street from your grandma's house. These guys are different. And we sit on our couches and we judge them. You got to meet them. You got to meet them. Meet them. Talk to them. See what they're like. Not all dudes are built for war. Look, I've seen people get angry. I've seen grown men get angry in a conversation. I've seen grown men get angry in a conversation and their bottom lip start quivering. What? We say, man, I'll kick your ass. That's not a fighter. Fighters don't, I'll kick your ass. Look, that's what I'm saying. We're too domestic. Those guys are warriors. Absolutely. Hockey guys box bare knuckle, though. I mean, I don't know what that means. A fight is a fight, man. There's a reason why it's not bare knuckle. They're protecting their hands. They're protecting, a fight. Either way, a fight is a fight. You go in the ring against a guy who is hockey players aren't trained fighters. These guys, all they do is eat, sleep, fighting. I ain't going to put this in my body. I'm going to do this for the next 6 to 8 weeks to beat somebody close to death. It's different, man. Morales versus Barrera, one of the greatest fights ever. Absolutely. Mindset of a killer. Yeah, that's right. And that's why when you grab that guy with the mindset of a killer and you throw him, you grab that guy. All he's doing is waking up and training to beat somebody close to death. Because that's really what it is. I am here. For some reason, my phone is going out. But really, that's what it is. I am here to fight a guy, okay? And knock him unconscious to where he can't. I want him to sleep as long as possible. That's really what you're training for. And you grab that guy and you give him a woman. He gets a woman. Or a woman jumps in his arms. And you expect him to act domestically. As soon as she argue and say, what? You ain't a real man, and do that push in her head, who knows what he does? Who knows what he does? That's why when it comes to stuff like this, I think this is why boxing needs a commission, needs an overall. You need a doctor or somebody for mental health so how they can live and prepare and live life outside of being a warrior. Really, these guys need someone to speak with, to talk to help them be able to, I'm telling you, it's kind of like going to war all day. Wilder versus Maidana. If Saunders beats Canelo, does it make him top 10 pound for pound? I don't think so. Regulator, salute to you. Ex-soldier, you spitting facts. T. Lawson, thank you very much. Thank you very much for being a soldier and allowing me to spit facts. That's what you did, What you did was defend my right to speak facts. Defend my right to speak at all. So thank you very much. What happened? What I missed? Oh, we're talking a lot, man. Iceman, shout out to you. ShowBizz, what's your take on Pacquiao staying at 147 and not at 140? He's a beast. Manny Pacquiao, all these fighters are beasts, but Manny Pacquiao is a rare, strange beast. He's 40-something years old. He's an old, undersized man. That is uncalled for. To be that kind of guy. Manny Pacquiao you see him smile, you see him do whatever. He has a side of him that burns, that is not going out yet. Somebody's going to have to grab a bucket of water and put it out, extinguish, because this guy has something in him that's not in everyone else, okay? Not in most people. He's in 1 percentile. Yeah, man, and it's not just the fact that he's that old and still want to train he has to train harder than your regular prime fighter. He has to train longer and harder to be in condition at 41 years old to fight a prime fighter. I just got my Larry Holmes pick from you, ShowBizz. Hey, Palm, much love to you, man. I had to really find a way to send that out without it costing an arm and a leg, but I got it to you. Caleb Plant might be the best pure boxer in the sport. I don't think you're all the way capping there, but I like Lomachenko as the best pure boxer. I like Usyk too. I like Terrence Crawford. But Caleb Plant's nice. I think Mayweather should be over Canelo for right now. Over Canelo what? Speaking of which, finally, pound for pound fighter. I'm going to have to go get a bite to eat in a minute. I just want to stop by and talk to you guys. But pound for pound fighter. At number 1, Canelo Alvarez. At number 2, finally, I thought Canelo Alvarez deserved it a year. Oh, they have an article on Ryan Garcia in here too. Number 2, Lomachenko. Oh, thanks for the super chat. Number 3, Inoue. Boom. And I was saying that. Number 4, Terrence Crawford. Number 5, Alexander Usyk, which I think Alexander Usyk should probably go up, man, to maybe 4. We'll see what happens in the heavyweight. Errol Spence, number 6. Triple G, number 7. How? I don't know. Triple G is still there. Estrada at number 8. Better BF, number 9. Manny Pacquiao, I think, should be over Triple G. They got Manny Pacquiao 10. See, that's that. I don't agree with that. But I respect, man. I respect Ring Magazine. So they've been doing it longer than me. But I think Manny Pacquiao should be over Golovkin. Usyk need to fight a legit heavyweight to move up. He will. He may be fighting Joseph Parker, Peter Parker, radioactive Spider-Man Peter Parker, for the WBO vacated by Anthony Joshua soon. That's going to be the truth. Triple G looking like a battered housewife. Don't agree with the list, but good enough. Right. It's something like that. But I got to respect it, though. Biz, do you see Manny Pacquiao keeping up with the rest of the division for the next few years? I don't want him in there for the next few years. If he is, then I don't know what kind of guy that is. I don't want him in there for the next. I want him to, he can go. Cherry picker, yeah, right. Went all the way to light heavyweight. Oh, you talking about Canelo? Canelo hater. That's a bad order. I hear WBO isn't stripping AJ, so Usyk will probably fight Chisora. So, oh, really? If that's the case, he's going to fight Chisora late March. I haven't heard that, though. But if that's the case, I wonder why. Because I know Eddie Hearn was saying they were going to talk about making a deal, having them prioritize it. So they were going to actually have one of them prioritize the other, and then they keep the belts. I think it should be vacated, okay? But if not, that's cool, too. We can have the Usyk and Anthony Joshua fight. That fight I want to see bad. I want to see that fight extremely bad. Usyk versus Ruiz or Dillian. Usyk versus Chisora is good enough for me. I keep telling y'all, Manny got some Bernard Hopkins in his blood. No, he's different than Bernard. He's different than Bernard. If he goes as far as Bernard did, fighting the way, Manny is doing this with athletic gifts. He's doing it with speed. You know, Bernard did it with game. He's doing it with athleticism. That's strange. I didn't hear Deontay Wilder. I don't know what that means. Okay, so this stream, Chisora fight for Usyk is a perfect fight for him in the stage. Yeah, I agree. You really think Floyd is coming back this year? Yeah. He got that contract with Dana White. It's a real thing. Bud and Spence, I feel, will be easier fight than Pac-Man versus Spence. I don't know about that. That's tough. That's tough, man. What do you think of Ezra Charles? One of the greatest ever. Well, I mean, one of the most fantastic fighters ever, which makes Rocky Marciano a pretty fantastic fighter, beating him twice. I wonder how Manny is doing. How Manny is doing it. Oh, you're talking about cheating. I feel you there. But I don't think he's cheating. Never been caught. You know, I'm not that type that just fill in what I don't know with negativity, you know. So John Jones versus Reyes, who you got? Hey, I got John Jones. I think John Jones is trying to find a reason to work himself up for this fight. Reyes pretty much just got a left hand. Reyes though, getting under John Jones' skin, talking a lot of mess. I've seen that happen before. Where have I seen that happen before? Where a lesser fighter talked enough junk to get under a guy's skin. Oh my God. Ernie Terrell did that with Muhammad Ali, right? No, calling him Cassius Clay. Just getting under his skin, making for an emotional fight that really didn't have to be. John Jones, best to ever do it. Him and Anderson Silva and GSP. What's up off it? All right, I'm about to last time define up off it, and then I gotta go. I got up off it from Notorious Big when he said, I'm trying to make $5 million up off the single. Up off the single. So it transformed into, I'm trying to do this up off it. So then it turned into up off it. Dominic Reyes doesn't have what it takes to beat John Jones. Yeah, John Jones got too many ways to beat you. You know, Reyes just got to kind of hit you with that left hand. You know, he got a decent high kick. I think he choked a guy out before, but what do you think of Wilder saying he'll retire if Tyson knocks him out in 2? He won't, but that's what you do. You say those things. You know, if I lose to you, I think Ali told Frazier, if you beat me, I'll walk over to you, kiss your feet, kneel down and say you are the greatest. He didn't do that. Herb Dean versus Steve Willis. Who you got? Steve Willis. And I'm going to end with this. I know great guys in the industry. You know what I'm saying? Like, with this community and what you guys allowed me to do. Really, I'm just a guy with a phone. I hit record and I start talking. But how you guys help shape me, mold me, these conversations that we have, real detailed conversations, my analysis is respected by fighters, by people in the industry, and I get Instagram DMs from real guys, real fighters. And that's why I said before, how many fighters have you met? A lot of these guys we talk about, some guys have actually hit me up and I've spoken to them. I'm not going to name drop, but what I'm saying is these guys are not what you guys say they are. And we have people say, oh, he's a runner, he's a cherry picker, he's this and that. These guys are not that. They're not. They're warriors. Most of them are warriors. Most of them are tired of the shit too. Most of them, with that said, when I dropped that Stephen A. Smith, try not to laugh. Those guys was hitting me up. That whole night, the roast sessions. The roast sessions we were having. ShowBizz, don't thank you guys. I said the thought. Put a little Keith Thurman up in there. ShowBizz, the thought. Thank you guys for coming out, man, and showing up. Look, I'm going live for the Danny Garcia fight in my community that won the vote. So I'm going to do the Danny Garcia fight over the Dos Santos fight. I wanted to see that. Maybe we can do both. We'll see. Up off net. I'm out. Huh.